What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews, exclusively here as always on the Casa D18 Studios channel. I, of course, am your host, the Renegade J.J. Williams, and today we're going to be taking a look at 2018's Black Panther, starring Chadwick Boseman, Michael B. Jordan, Lupita Nyong'o, Denai Guerrilla, Martin Freeman, Letitia Wright, Winston Duke, Angela Bassett, Forrest Whitaker, and Andy Serkis. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining me here once again for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews. And like I said during the introduction, today we're going to take a trip to Wakanda, and we're going to take a look at the Black Panther. And our film opens thousands of years ago, as 5 African tribes go to war over a meteorite that contained the metal vibranium. One warrior ingests a heart-shaped herb that had been affected by the metal and ends up gaining superhuman abilities, becoming the very first Black Panther. He is able to unite 4 out of the 5 tribes, all except for the Jabari, and they end up forming the nation of Wakanda. Now, over the centuries, the Wakandans used the vibranium in order to develop advanced technology, and they isolate themselves from the world by posing as a third world country. We then jump to 1992, as Wakandan King T'Chaka visits his brother, N'Jobu, who is working undercover in Oakland, California. T'Chaka accuses his brother of assisting a black market arms dealer named Ulysses Claw with stealing vibranium from Wakanda. N'Jobu's partner, James, then reveals that he is actually Zuri, another undercover Wakandan, and he confirms King T'Chaka's suspicions. In the present day, following T'Chaka's death, T'Challa returns to Wakanda, ready to assume the throne. He and Okoye, the leader of the Dora Milaje regiment, extract T'Challa's ex-lover, Nakia, from an undercover assignment so that she can attend his coronation, along with his mother, Ramonda, and younger sister, Shuri. At the ceremony, the Jabari tribe leader, M'Baku, challenges T'Challa for the crown in ritual combat. T'Challa is able to defeat M'Baku and persuades him to yield rather than die. When Claw and his accomplice, Eric Stevens, steal a Wakandan artifact from a London museum, T'Challa's friend and Okoye's lover, Wakabi, urges T'Challa to capture Claw and bring him back to Wakanda alive. T'Challa, Okoye, and Nakia travel to Busan, South Korea, where Claw plans to sell the artifact to CIA agent Everett K. Ross. A firefight erupts, and Claw attempts to flee, but he is caught by T'Challa, who reluctantly releases him to Ross's custody. Claw tells Ross that Wakanda's international image is a front for a technologically advanced civilization. Eric attacks and extracts Claw as Ross is gravely injured protecting Nakia. Rather than pursue Claw, T'Challa takes Ross to Wakanda, where their technology can save him. While Shuri works to heal Ross, T'Challa confronts Zuri about N'Jobu. Zuri explains that N'Jobu planned to share the Wakandan technology with the people of African descent around the world in order to help them rise up and conquer their oppressors. As T'Chaka arrested N'Jobu, N'Jobu attacked Zuri and forced T'Chaka to kill him. T'Chaka ordered Zuri to lie that N'Jobu had disappeared, and they left behind his American son in order to maintain the lie. That boy grew up to become Eric Stevens, a Black Ops U.S. Navy SEAL who took on the moniker of Killmonger. Meanwhile, Killmonger kills Claw and brings the body with him to Wakanda. Eric is then brought before the tribal elders and reveals his identity to be N'Jadaka and attempts to claim the throne. Killmonger then challenges T'Challa to ritual combat, where he kills Zuri, defeats T'Challa, and throws him off of a waterfall to his death. Killmonger then ingests the heart-shaped herb and orders the garden in which they grow to be burned. However, Nakia is able to secretly grab one heart-shaped herb before they are engulfed in flames. Killmonger, supported by Wakabi and the Border Tribe Army, prepared to distribute shipments of Wakandan weapons to operatives around the world. Nakia, Shuri, Ramonda, and Ross flee to the land of the Jabari tribe for assistance, and upon their arrival, they find a comatose T'Challa, having been rescued by the Jabari, in repayment for T'Challa having spared M'Baku's life in ritual combat. They use the heart-shaped herb to heal T'Challa, who then returns to continue his fight with Killmonger, who has donned his own nanotech suit, similar to that of T'Challa's Black Panther suit. Wakabi and the Border Tribe Army fight Shuri, Nakia, and the Dora Milaje, while Ross remotely pilots a jet and shoots down planes carrying the vibranium weaponry. M'Baku and the Jabari tribe arrive and join T'Challa in his fight. And when confronted by Okoye, Wakabi and his army stand down. While fighting in Wakanda's mine, T'Challa is able to disrupt Killmonger's suit and stabs him. Killmonger refuses to be healed, choosing to die a free man rather than to be incarcerated. T'Challa then takes N'Jadaka to the waterfall where they fought, where N'Jadaka dies peacefully. As our film comes to its close, T'Challa purchases the building where N'Jobu died, as well as the neighboring buildings, in order to establish an outreach program, which will be ran by Nakia and Shuri. In our mid-credits scene, T'Challa appears before the United Nations in order to reveal Wakanda's true nature to the world. And in our post-credits scene, Shuri helps Bucky Barnes with his recovery. Black Panther is another one of those films where prior to me seeing it, I knew very little about the character from the comics. I knew almost nothing about Wakanda or the vibranium other than what we had seen in previous movies, and that it was what was used to create Cap's shield. And then what was used in Age of Ultron to create the body for what Ultron wanted to be, what Vision became. But I gotta say, and maybe it's just Chadwick Boseman's performance, but I gravitated towards T'Challa like no other since my introduction to Chris Evans's Steve Rogers Captain America. There's something about the way that Chadwick Boseman performed T'Challa, that just gives him this sense of nobility, which granted he needs that as a king, but also this amazing sense of heart. You know, his speech to the UN in the mid-credit scene is probably one of my favorite speeches within the MCU that doesn't come from Cap. And honestly, even with the ones that come from Cap, this very well may be my favorite speech overall. You know, Wakanda will no longer watch from the shadows. We cannot. We must not. We will work to be an example of how we, as brothers and sisters on this earth, should treat each other. Now more than ever, the illusions of division threaten our very existence. We all know the truth. More connects us than separates us. But in times of crisis, the wise build bridges, while the foolish build barriers. We must find a way to look after one another as if we were one single tribe. I just love those words. And if you think about the political landscape in 2018 when this movie came out, you know, we were 2 years into the Trump administration. Trump notoriously wanted to put a wall up at the Mexican border. You know, he talks about the foolish build barriers while the wise build bridges. Very much seems like a slam at Trump. You think about the illusions of division threaten our very existence. You think about the Black Lives Matter movement versus the Blue Lives Matter or All Lives Matter movement, and the division there that was threatening our very existence. Very, very political in that speech. And I'm not usually one for a big political stuff, but there's just something about that speech that resonates with me, because I do feel that we all need to look after each other more. We all need to stop being so selfish and start being selfless and look after each other as if we're all one tribe. When it comes to my rating for Black Panther, I give it 5 out of 5. And no, I'm not rating it high just because we've lost Chadwick here in the last year. That has nothing to do with it. I would have given this a 5 out of 5 if Chadwick were still alive and with us today. I came out of this film and subsequently Infinity War and Endgame wanting to see where we were going to go with this story in Black Panther 2. And although we've lost Chadwick, T'Challa, and we will no longer see his story continue, I'm still just as interested to see where we're going to go without him as I was curious to see where we were going to go with him. My biggest regret about him no longer being here is we won't possibly get to see the introduction of Aurora Monroe, better known as Storm, who he married in the comics. I would have liked to have seen that relationship get introduced in part 2 and begin to kind of develop. It would have been a great way to introduce one of our X-Men characters, tie her into the MCU storyline, And then if they had wanted to kill T'Challa in the third one, she could have moved on to the X-Men. However, like I said, with Chadwick gone, we can't do that, obviously. But that's what I was hoping for in Black Panther 2. What do you guys think of Black Panther? Do you hold it in as high as regard as I do? Let me know. If you're watching the premiere, leave your thoughts and comments over here. If you're watching on demand, leave your thoughts and comments down here. But whatever you do, get out there on social media. Get those hashtags trending. Hashtag Casa D18 Studios. Hashtag Renegades Reviews. Hashtag Renegade Returns. And, of course, the ever-popular hashtag Shenanigans. We interrupt this episode of Renegades Reviews for an important announcement about
merchandising.
Merchandising? What's that?
Merchandising. Come, I'll show you. Merchandising, where the real money's made.
Make sure you go over to teespring.com/stores/Jeff Meacham Network for all the t-shirts you see here from the West Coast professor, Jeff Meacham himself. You can get shirts for the Jeff Meacham Network, Talk Wrestling, as well as the red and gold Meachamania shirts. And while you're there, don't forget to get your shirts of the Casa D18 Studios Brotherhood, the Dads on Wrestling shirt, the Renegade JJ Williams, Statboy Sports Bar, and the hashtag StatBoyApproved shirt. Make sure you go over to teespring.com/stores/Jeff Meacham Network and score your shirts today. Make sure you guys get out there. Do what that commercial just told you. Go to teespring.com/stores/Jeff Meacham Network for all the official merchandise of the Casa D18 Studios Brotherhood. Get your Renegade JJ Williams shirt, Dad's Not Always on Wrestling, Statboy Sports Bar, hashtag StatBoyApproved, hashtag Shenanigans. Get you your official merchandise of the Jeff Meacham Network, 3 different designs of the Jeff Meacham Network logo for you to choose from, along with Talk Wrestling, Meachamania, so much more. It's summertime. Get out there. Go to the Teespring store. Get you a tank top. Perfect accessory to wear to those beach bonfires, pool parties, barbecues, all those activities that occur during these hot summer days and these hotter summer nights. Get out there, show your love and support. While you're showing your support, do what that ticker tells you to do. Do you enjoy my daily videos? Do you enjoy my content? If so, go to that PayPal link. Send me a couple buck donation. Keep in mind, guys, I'm not monetized, so the only way I'm going to make any money right now is if you out there go to the link that scrolls on the bottom of the screen and send me a small donation. Don't want to send money? That's cool. Go to the link tree that scrolls across the bottom there. Click on the link for my Amazon movie wish list. Select a movie for me. You order it. It comes in the mail. I'll open it up on Renegade Recap, as I always do. Give you guys a shout out. And then, likewise, when I factor it into one of my months, work it into a theme, review it, give you guys another shout out. And I'll show you guys the same amount of love and support that you guys return to me. Make sure you guys tune in tomorrow, right back here on the Casa D18 Studios channel for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews when we go back to 2017 and we take a look at Thor Ragnarok, starring Chris Hemsworth, Tom Hiddleston, Kate Blanchett, Idris Elba, Jeff Goldblum, Tessa Thompson, Carl Urban, Mark Ruffalo, Anthony Hopkins, Sam Neill, Luke Hemsworth, Matt Damon, and Taika Waititi. You're not going to want to miss out tomorrow, right back here on Renegades Reviews, when we take a look at the 3rd chapter of Thor, the God of Thunder's story, and we take a look at the events of Ragnarok. To all my loyal fans and viewers out there tuning in for the premiere, leaving your thoughts and comments over here, thank you very much. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you guys. All my loyal fans and viewers out there tuning in a little bit later in the day, watching on demand, leaving your thoughts and comments down here. Thank you very much. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. I appreciate all my loyal fans and viewers out there that tune in, show their support for me on a daily basis. Thank you very much for that. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.